everyone, I'm Zoe Key.
And I'm Aaron Buckle, and you're watching 2 years and 30 minutes, coming to you from Howe College headquarters in Bromsgrove, Worcestershire.
We have had a lot of things to discuss today, so sit back and let's get started.
First up is our selection of the top 5 student music videos. This year, media students were asked to originate and plan a music video for a music track of their choice.
We ranked the 5 best videos especially for you guys, so without further ado, let's begin the countdown.
Number 5, Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Back in the day, it had been nearly impossible to surf the radio without hearing this iconic song. The track was a big hit, and then, just days before Jay-Z turned 40, it gave the rap legend his first #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 list. Without keeping you waiting any longer, let's hear a recreation of the video directed by second-year media student Olivia Court.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like a Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. Nigga, I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from. With OG at a Yankee game. Shit, I made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. You should know I bleed blue, but I ain't a crypto. But I got a gang of niggas walking with my click though. Welcome to the melting pot. Corners where we selling rock. Africa been by the shit. Home of the hip hop. Yellow cap, gypsy cap, dollar cap, holla back. For foreigners it ain't fair, they act like they forgot how to act. 8 million stories out there in the naked city. It's a pity half of y'all won't make it. Me, I got a plug special ed, I got it made. If Jesus paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne Wade. 3 dice CeeLo, 3 card Marley. Labor Day parade, rest in peace Bob Marley. Statue of Liberty, long live the World Trade, long live the King, yo. I'm from the Empire State, that's... is blinding. Girls need blinders so they could step out of bounds quick. The sidelines is lined with casualties who sip the life casually, then gradually become worse. Don't bite the apple eve, caught up in the in crowd. Now you're in style, and in the winter gets cold, in vogue with your skin out. City of sin, it's a pity on a whim. Good girls going bad, the city's filled with them. Mommy took a bus trip, now she got a bus.
That was certainly something, wasn't it? Now let's move on to number 4, Numb by Linkin Park. The original track became one of Linkin Park's most critically acclaimed songs, as well as one of their most commercially successful, peaking at number 11 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Without further delay, it's time to see a similar version directed by Karenza Smith. Check it out.
Under the surface, don't know what you're expecting of me, but
At number 3, we have Blind Spot by Population 7. This particular piece was created to promote their new album, Fiaro. From our sources, we discovered that they have already developed a large following in the Midlands and have been featured on BBC Worcester. Let's see how well Ollie Ridley directed this notable video.
To heal with this feeling of resistance. Got that meaning in my step, got that healing full persistence. Drop the fear, pull it back and breathe the air that you've been missing. Maybe I'll be screaming, then you'll listen. Glisten like diamonds insisting. Shooting like a pistol, blinding laser from a crystal. Make this flow official, waiting for your dismissal. And I find myself in prison, cause of narcissism. Guess I'm focused like a prison, blame for lack of vision. I got my hands on my eyes, so I cannot see. Got my hands on my eyes, so I cannot see what is going on. And now you're coming my way, what is going on. And now you're coming my way, my way, my way, my way, my way.
Delight of the first light I see. You've been forthright, come bring your animosity. I sit tight with my eyes wide shut, waiting for you to pass by, so hurry up. I ain't the type to dwell and reside. I'd rather ignite and rewrite. Let's illuminate the path of blindness. Invite my head to leave my heart, but in the dark I cannot find the kindness.
I got my hands on my eyes, so I cannot see. Got my hands on my eyes, so I cannot see what is going on. And now you're coming my way, what is going on. And now you're coming my way, my way, my way, my way, my way.
And ever since he vanishes and always on a sedative, but time is only relative. When you're accomplished, you could be astonishing. Got it right way, once square, no regardless. Do the deed and the needed it. When you know they don't believe in you, all until I'm intriguing you. You're gonna see one of these on the streets, on me, they leave it too. They're the lungs that I'm breathing through. You ever lose it with all your poisons and cohorts? You can rub thoughts with your imports. And boy gets jacked and I won't tie talks. Really trust those situate waste ideas. And you're caring enough about to compromises. Modern guys miss down, trying to ride. Class go by, shining in the moonlight like.
It's time to cover number 2, Meds by Placebo. The song was released at Alternative Rock Radio Airplay in the US in late 2006. Its airplay increased gradually, so that by early January 2007, it was one of the 50 most played songs on US alternative radio. Let's take a closer look at the fan-made version of this piece, directed by second-year media student Anna Stolaric.
I was alone, falling free, trying my best not to forget what happened to us, what happened to me, what happened as I let it slip. I was confused by the powers that be, forgetting names and faces. Passers-by were looking at me as if they could erase it.
Baby, did you forget to take your meds? Baby, did you forget to take your meds?
I was alone, staring over the ledge, trying my best not to forget all manner of joy, all manner of glee, and our one heroic pledge. How it mattered to us, how it mattered to me, and the consequences. I was confused by the birds and the bees, forgetting if I meant trying my best not to forget.
Finally, the music video we chosen for the #1 spot in our countdown, Baboons by the Purple Shades. The Purple Shades is an unassigned Midlands-based 4-piece alternative punk rock band. The band was formed in 2011 and are currently still active. They have already played at numerous gigs and festivals, which is quite impressive to say the least. Without keeping anyone in suspense any longer, let's take a look at the video, which was directed by none other than Zoe Key.
This place is like a town of ever-growing baboons. There's no peace, no quiet, no time to think about the threats they've made. I shunt out the sane ones who don't think like you do too. And do as you please, but God forbid it can be like white. It's just another time where nobody knows each other. And it's all pokes and daggers. And after all, what's the old bar pigs in a hole? Just like the blood of innocence. I do but only when they're watching me. And no matter what fears are created, there's always a way to respond. So don't expect me to care which color is good or what is bad. It's just another time where nobody knows each other. And it's all pokes and daggers. And after all, what's it all for? Pigs in a hole, just like somebody who knows you. It seems you're just a lost soul and you're scared like the rest of us. Oh, and maybe it's why I'm saying, maybe it's why I'm saying. And now it's all coming to an end, my friend. I know the situation, it can't be perfect anymore. And let's not get caught up in today and just be happy for once. That it's not you or me or her that are fighting for our lives.
So that's our top 5 music videos.
We still have many things to discuss, but we'll go through them after a short break, so don't go anywhere guys, because we're just getting started.
See you guys soon.
McVitie's, too good to share.
Do you wish to start a new opportunity? The Hearts of Worcester College is a further and higher educational college that offers a wide range of full and part-time courses. It's a brand new opportunity for anyone looking for an insightful new experience. Our free inter-campus bus runs between Bromsgrove and the Redditch campus on a regular basis. From our personal tutors to our college welfare service, our friendly staff will be able to provide advice and support. Secure your place as a valued member at the Hearts of Worcestershire College.
How College, come see for yourself.
And we're back.
Hopefully most of you guys are still here with us, because our next topic covers the most anticipated movie of the month. So for all of you movie geeks out there, this is for you. Erin, would you kindly reveal the title of the chosen film?
Certainly. It's a big week at the movies, so I have to admit that I wasn't surprised when I saw this film in our top ranks, To Kill a Red Robin. Action junkies are already internally combusting with excitement. The storyline follows Batman's sidekick, Jason Todd, who took on the role of the second Robin. Unfortunately for him, he is kidnapped by Joker and his current fate remains unknown.
I must admit that you've piqued my interest. Let's see the official trailer. Maybe we'll get a better look.
Wake up. Why do it? Jason beats Crowbar. Don't worry, Jason, this is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me.
Wow, now that is what I call an action-packed trailer. If you're just as excited as I am about this movie and you want to find out more, don't worry, because we have a big guest, Ollie Ridley, who's currently on video call with us since he's still in Hollywood working on another film. Hi Ollie, I hope that Hollywood is treating you well.
Yeah, it's treating me very well. It's very bright out here though.
He will give us a much better insight on the movie, so without further ado, let's get started. As some people say, it all starts with the script. What was challenging about bringing this script to life?
I think the most challenging thing about bringing the script to life was making the script give it more depth, as there's only 2 characters in the entire film. So making the character development as good as it possibly could was the most difficult, and considering that a lot of the dialogue comes from the Joker, it's more difficult to make it less boring when it's just one character talking for so long in a film. And I think writing this, trying to visualise a script where there's also not a lot of scene changes and having that idea of how you want it to look when you're just putting it down on paper is quite difficult. So I think that was the most difficult part about writing the script.
From what I've seen, you had a pretty big cameo where you were featured as fictional supervillain the Joker. Actors such as Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto and Cameron Monaghan, who were blessed to also take on that role, described the Joker as a psychopathic, mass-murdering, schizophrenic clown with zero empathy. From your own experience, what was the biggest challenge about taking on this role? Were you inspired by anyone in particular?
I think the most difficult part about playing that role was switching off from directing the film. Being able to switch off from that was probably the most difficult, and taking not tips but almost paying homage to actors like Jack Nicholson and his presentation of the role, which was quite wacky, and then Heath Ledger's reputation of the role, which was really just a lot of method acting and a lot of getting into the role and kind of not thinking about really acting, more thinking of you are that person. Especially when playing this role, the whole shoot was about 7 hours all told. We stayed in one room, basically locked ourselves in there and didn't leave. There was no breaks, there was no going out of character unless there's a few mistakes in it, but other than staying in that character for that long, it started becoming a bit more genuine, and it got to a point where in breaks I'd still be keeping up the voice and everything, and it kind of was some serious method acting, and it was very difficult to kind of not switch off from it, but to keep that going for long enough to keep the persona going and keep that voice going. It was really odd and quite scary for the people filming it, as it's not the director. It's difficult when your director's telling you to do one thing and then the Joker's telling you to do another. But no, it was quite interesting, and to run around with the crowbar for 7 hours straight was also quite fun.
Films evolve through the creative process, sometimes most dramatically in the editing process. It's often really hard to reconcile the difference between what we desired and what we achieved. Have you ever encountered this in post-production? And if so, how did you move through it?
I'd say that the most difficult part about the editing and keeping what I thought in my head and what wasn't was actually making a room look so kind of dilapidated and making it look almost isolated, as Robin's character is completely left alone. He has no one to help him, and kind of changing the image and editing it so it has that darker tones to it, especially since it wasn't a very dark room. We didn't have a kind of abandoned warehouse to film in. Also with the editing, kind of making it seem as disturbed and trippy as possible from Robin's perception, because there are parts of the film that are from his point of view, and editing things like that were quite difficult. And then also some of the other parts we did that weren't on the shoot, like the mental hospital tapes, they were quite difficult to do, as I voiced both of the people and had to basically talk to myself in a normal voice, then change to a Joker voice and basically talk to myself for the whole interview, which is very disturbing.
What advice would you give to someone who's pursuing a career in the film industry?
I would say that the most difficult thing with that would to be stick to it and try and get your content out there. Lots of outlets like YouTube and different things to get your content out there, but start small and then work up from there. No one's just going to jump into any work from nowhere. You've got to work from the bottom and get to the top. So that's the only thing I'd say for anyone who's starting in this media business.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm sure that the movie is going to be a big hit and cinemas are going to be packed on the day of the premiere. Now it's time for a small break, but don't go anywhere, guys, because there's still more to come. See you in a minute.
My gut, if I wanted to, then I'd just do sit-ups. But they say the more you spray, the more you get. Well, I just used 2 cones and I'm still covered in sweat, and that is just £6.50 that I regret. Where's my breast? Where's my breast? Where's my breast?
And we're back. It's nice to see you again, Aaron.
Likewise. Finally, it's time to cover the last topic of the day, documentaries.
As we all know, documentaries are intended to document aspects of reality, primarily for the purposes of instruction, education, or maintaining a historical record.
They cover a wide range of topics, so it's safe to say that everyone can find something for themselves.
Last year, our first years were given a task to come up with their own idea for a documentary, so it was interesting to say the least.
We scanned the titles and analysed the synopsis for every single one.
One of them really seemed to capture our attention almost immediately, so let's take a look at a short clip from a documentary about disabilities.
A fellow student with sciatica, a disability which affects her lower back.
It's definitely difficult sometimes because the constant pain and things like that, and obviously it involves a lot of standing when you're filming and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad.
Do you have any advice for other disabled students?
Strive for what you want to do, I guess. Don't let it get in the way, even if it is difficult, and ask for help if you need it.
What are your thoughts so far, Aaron?
I have to admit that they have picked a bold topic to document. Too often, documentaries are known to be super efficient information machines, but they're visually unimaginative, which is a shame. I don't see that in this documentary, so I must say that I'm positively surprised. So far, I'm drawn to the topic, however, I need more clips to further my opinion.
I'm on the same page as you, Aaron. There's only one thing that I want to criticise. I don't know what they want me to feel as an audience. To give a documentary a distinctive vision, you always need to decide what main emotion you want your audience to ultimately feel. In this case, I'm really conflicted whether I should be emotionally moved or if I should be entertained by the facts that are being thrown in the documentary.
That's a valid point. I can see what you're trying to say. Let's see the final clip to really grasp the topic, shall we?
She is diagnosed with autistic spectrum disorder, which can affect the way that she thinks and interacts with others. Here's what she had to say.
Do you feel the college accommodates for your disabilities?
Pretty much so.
Do you feel your disability affects your time at college?
I think it affects of how I tend to worry about the overall quality of my written work and practical work.
Do you have any plans after college?
Probably going to university to get some sort of degree.
So, what are your thoughts now?
I have to say this, I'm really impressed. Not only have they discussed physical disabilities, but they've also made sure to address mental disabilities as well. By adding this into the documentary, it proves that the pre-production team did a lot of research demonstrating their level of professionalism.
I 100% agree. It was really considerate of them to do that, so I applaud them. Overall, I believe that it was a very formative video, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in seeing the full version or finding out more about disabilities in college.
Well, that's our show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know we did. Keep an eye out for this show next week. Same time, same place, different topics. My name is Aaron Buckle.
And my name is Zoe Key.
And this has been
2 years in 30 minutes. Bye, guys!